Hey guys, it's me, it's Queen Osset Haru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Asking Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. Alright guys, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, pass it on to somebody else who might like it as well, and please leave us a positive comment in the comment section. Remember, it really helps us out when you leave comments and when you like and when you share our videos. That way the YouTube algorithm that knows nothing but the almighty number does not swipe us off into oblivion, okay? So today we're going to talk about something that's very interesting. I got a message from an Aquarius, okay? Aquarius woman. She told me that she found herself in a circle, a group of people, a clique, if you will, of women that she really didn't like. She felt like that she had outgrown the circle, the things that they did, the places that they went, the things they talked about, you know. She felt like she had outgrown what they were doing. And this happened a couple months ago. So she gradually started to distance herself from this group and spend more time by herself. And when she did go out, went out with a few of her other friends who more closely relate to what she's into now. Quite frankly, one girl goes to yoga class with her. Another girl, she said they go to meetups, meetup.com. They go to those meetups. If anybody who doesn't know about it, meetup.com is a site where you can find other people doing things in your city. So you go to meetup.com, you type in your city, you type in your zip code, and they tell you about meetups. And they can be different things like wine tastings. I went to one that was for tarot readers, and everybody was sitting around talking about tarot. We had a little presentation, and we sat around and talked and gave each other readings. So that was a lot of fun. So whatever you're into, meetup.com more than likely has a meetup for it. They meet at different times, once a week, once a month, you know, different things, because each group is ran individually. But if you're somebody who wants to be more social and you're like, well, I don't have any friends or I don't know where to go, meetup.com is one of those kind of things. So anyway, she moved on to try to find other circles, basically, or be by herself more, you know, work on her own stuff more. Well, because she stopped hanging with this group, slowly this group started hating on her. Now, mind you, she didn't do anything to them. She just started backing away. So then they started talking trash about her, hating on her. You know what happens, you know, telling people she's stuck up, you know, this different crap that happens when you're hanging with a group of people that you've outgrown. So she said to me, as an Aquarius, she was like, what I don't understand is the logic. And I started laughing because I was like, I knew it was coming as soon as she said the word logic. And she said, I don't understand the logic, Queen. She was like, none of these women really have the time or the luxury to spend thinking about me. She was like, I don't get the logical aspect of this. She was like, I can get the emotional aspect of it. Like maybe they're upset or mad or, you know, their feelings are hurt because I stopped hanging with them. And I said, yeah, that's probably what it is. But she was like, I don't understand their reaction to it. She's like, I don't understand the logic in now sitting around hating on me. She was like, all of them have better shit to do. Quite frankly, they got bigger fish to fry. And I was like, yeah, that's true. But you have to understand something about haters. And this is very important, especially when you're coming at it from an analytic mind. Haters are miserable. Once you understand that misery, you pretty much understand everything. Haters are miserable. So things that make sense to you and me, common sense kind of things like pay attention to your own stuff, see what's going on in your own life, stuff like that that is common sense to me and you is not common sense to a hater. A person who is hating, remember we call them haters, so we put them into this category, but we're really not looking at what we're dealing with here. We're dealing with miserable people in general, because typically happy, healthy, emotionally healthy people don't go around hating on other people. We have better things to do. We're busy most times. Most of the time, people who are, happy and healthy, they have a rewarding life and they have rewarding relationships. They're busy. They have career things going on. They might go down to the church and volunteer. A person like that is busy. So they don't have time for hating on other people because they're so busy doing things that fulfill them and bring them joy. Even when somebody starts to hate on someone around them, they kind of just flag it off and go off to the next conversation, A person who is a hater is generally miserable. They usually don't have that going on. Not to say that some haters aren't busy, because a lot of haters are busybodies. They're constantly busy. But the thing about it is that they're not happy. They're not content. They're miserable. So what does misery do? Misery likes to collect company sometimes, but misery also has a very hard time doing exactly what she said, focusing on why it's so miserable and changing it. So misery a lot of times is looking for ways to distract themselves from their own problems instead of fixing them. That's what misery does. Because if they actually fixed them, they wouldn't be in misery. Not anymore. They would have dealt with that issue and moved on. A person who's a hater is usually not doing that. They're usually not task oriented. They're not usually dealing with their own issues and making themselves happier and being grateful and, having rewarding relationships. These people are generally really, really miserable, and they do everything they can to distract themselves from what's going on in their life and needs to be done. They do everything to distract themselves for the reason why they're miserable in the first place. So because they do that, it's a repetitive cycle. They continue to be miserable. They look for more things to hate about other people and other things in their surroundings. And haters don't just hate on people. They hate on everything. They hate on their family members. They sometimes even hate on their lovers. They hate on things just at random, They hate on some things. Mostly they hate on almost everything around them because, again, that miserable, negative, nasty energy follows them around, and it's hard for them to shake it or get rid of it. So they focus on you. So unfortunately, this happens a lot with Aquarius. Aquarius deal with a lot of haters, a lot of gossip, a lot of betrayal, a lot of backstabbing. We do deal with a lot of those things. And a great deal of the hater energy comes from the fact that Aquarius beat to our own drum. And when a person is proud and happy and free, those haters aren't free. Their emotions have them encaged in this nasty, mucky energy that this other person isn't stuck in. So a hater doesn't have the ability to be able to look at you and say, you know what, instead of hating on her, I should be worried about me. Because that's what I would think, Like when I wake up in the morning and I start to get into my groove, people tell me things all throughout the day that are going on. But it never dawns on me to stop and hate on them and their situation, because I'm always moving on to the next thing I need to improve in my life. See, if a person is paying attention to their own path, if they're paying attention to their own work, whatever that work may be, if it's career or emotion, spiritual, whatever, if a person is focusing on task, then all that other stuff is just noise. So whenever you see people or you have people hating on you, just remember that these people are miserable and they're really not worth your consideration, honestly. They're not, because it's nothing tangible there that you need to do. That's their problem. They need to deal with their misery, and you need to ignore that and keep it moving. Trying to rationalize it, trying to, use your logic and reason to understand it will drive you crazy, because at the end of the day, you're not going to really understand because you're not in that mindset. Thank goodness. You're in a totally different mindset. And this happens a lot. Have any of you, I want to know in the comments section from you guys, have any of you ever outgrew your circle or a certain friend and then have them turn on you and start hating on you. Like I said, it happens a lot. So if you've had this happen to you and you are open to share, please tell us in the comments section what happened and how did you deal with it. Because like I said to this Aquarius, I strongly suggest just ignoring it, because all they're going to do is keep on, regurgitating the same energy. There are people still talking about me that I haven't talked to or spent time with in over 2 decades. And they still get together and talk about me. And I don't even think about them. But I know they do, because one person who is still in that circle always laughs about it. Every time I see this person cracks up and says, "Girl, they still talking about you." And I'll bust out laughing every single time. I'm like, after all this time? And me and him just laugh about it. That's our ongoing joke for the past 20 years, literally. We see each other and he's like, "Girl, And I'm like, "What? They still talking about me? Hello." And I bust out laughing. But like I said before, let them talk. Let them talk. Don't even take it seriously. Ignore them and let them talk. They're going to keep talking. They're still talking bad about Jesus. My grandmother used to always say, "They talk bad about Jesus, so they're going to talk bad about you." And as I got older, I giggled to myself and I'm like, you know what? That's true. That's very true. People are going to talk about you no matter what you do. So just be true to yourself and keep it moving. All right, guys, if you have time, don't forget to like this video. If you would like to have a reading done, please email me and I'll hook you up. Also, if you have time, take a look underneath this video, because all of my information is there. If you're on Instagram, you need to follow me on Instagram, because I'm giving away more stuff. I gave away a pocketbook earlier in this month from last month. From last month. And I'm looking forward to giving away more stuff when I come back from vacation. I like giving things to people. I like receiving gifts and I like giving them. So I have a couple more gifts to give on Instagram, and I have a couple more gifts to give out here too. But if you're on Instagram, you may as well take advantage of these cool things I'm going to be giving, because I'm not giving the same things on both mediums. What I give on Instagram and what I give on YouTube are going to be 2 different things. So check it out. All right, guys. See you later.